Hello everyone, this is Mange. Welcome to today's market analysis for the S&P 500 futures. So in this video, I am going to show you a market recap from yesterday's session that's including a trade review in M3, relying on a spring and test setup for the long entry. And also I'm going to cover the bias going forward, key levels to pay attention to, and most importantly is the potential setup for the US session later. Alright, so let's just get started now. As you can see, we are in the daily time frame for the S&P 500 here. So yesterday's session was a bullish day, and we have a spring of the prior swing low here, and subsequently have a reversal up and close high just near the resistance area at 2850. And look at the volume, and it's pretty comparable with the day before, which is the 13th. So if you can remember my yesterday video, I mentioned that despite weakening of the S&P 500, demand was spotted because of the effort versus result analysis or assessment. So yesterday price action did confirm that, and that's also on top of spring action of the swing low. So that actually formed a pretty good long setup for me. And yeah, just let me get into H1 so you get a better view here. So as you can see that if I zoom out a bit more, then you can see that the prior swing low is formed in the 4th of May at 2771, and yesterday just at the opening session we have a dip below 2771 and followed by a reversal up. So this is what I call a spring setup, or if you want probably can call it a false breakdown setup. But anyway, I will just need to dive into M3 for the potential or the actual trade review. So let me just go to M3 and drag it to the actual session. Alright, so there we go. So as you can see in this M3 timeframe chart, I have highlighted a few things, but I think it's quite messy because I haven't actually deleted the arrow that I drawn up, because I think previously on the yesterday video I talked about potential setup, short setup if it tested the supply zone near 2840 or 2850, but it didn't actually happen. So that was the green arrow. I will just delete that one. Another scenario I anticipated was a bounce from the supporting level at 2790 to 2800, but actually that's prior to the US session. It already broke below this supporting level, so this level was no longer valid. But in fact, if you just look at the M3 time frame, you can see that how these levels actually play out. So let me go back to M3 again. Okay, so you can see that just at the opening at 9:30 here. So this is the level that I marked, 2790 to 2800. You see that at the opening, the M3 candle just tested and get rejected, and on 9:36 also tested again but got rejected as well, and just after that we have a follow through to the downside and just dip below the non-RTH low, and eventually we just dip below this swing low 2771, and that's breaking down with a bearish bar. But you can see that it's only for just a few bars, and subsequently it just come back up and have a test. So the long entry that I initiated was at this breakout bar, as I illustrated in this golden circle. So I also marked this supply bar because this is quite an important bar for me to actually commit to the downside. So what I want to see is to have the candles to commit above this bar. So as long as it's still fluctuating within this bar or just below this bar, then I won't consider any trade. So this is one of my trigger. So what I want to see is the commitment above this level 2775, and definitely is the swing low level formed by the prior days in May at 2771. So this is actually a breakout candle. Then this is my long entry just right after the close of the candle. But you can see that this is well, a little bit of the threatening trade, because just right after I open, then you have a quite a big spread bar down. But you can see that it's just one bar and it actually just form a higher low. So we have a low form here, and subsequently we have a reaction which is a test of this low. It's also a higher low, but still at this point it's still below the 2771 level, and also still below still within this supply zone. So just right after the breakout and reaction, then we have another higher low. So I think if you didn't take the trade at the breakout, then probably at the next breakout, or even the kind of like reversal of the halfway of this candle, can be a long entry as well. Alright, so this is my entry, and subsequently I just trailed the stop, because when I initiated the trade, the immediate target is at this resistance area 2790 to 2800. So I anticipate the price to at least travel to there, but it actually went a bit further. So I just trail my stop, and actually just at this point, this bar here, 11:15 my time, and have a reversal and got stop out here. So just roughly around 1.6 hour for me. But if you stay up the whole US session, or if you are just trade during the US session because it's just a normal time zone for you, then I think you have another some more great long entries, because you see that this is just a normal reaction and tested this support area. So you have a first reaction, second reaction, and a third reaction actually form a higher low. So either take the reversal candle here, or you can take the breakout candle here, or even trade a pullback just after this breakout, pullback somewhere around 2800 to 2803. So these are quite a few spots to initiate long entry, but it's very late in my end, in my time zone, so definitely no trade for me. So only one trade initiated at 2778 and take profit around 2800. Alright, so this is the trade review, and let me just get back to the current situation now. So what's happening now? I think we're still within this big range. Let me just zoom out a bit more. In H4, probably you get a better view. So you see that we have a change of the up channel. So this is original up channel, second up channel. But if you look at just horizontally, so start from the 17th of April, then we have a reaction, which is a change of character. So from there onwards, then it actually form a trading range, just bouncing up between 2715 to 2890, but it actually just have an upthrust at 2965 up to 2960, and subsequently it's still fluctuating here. But the action from yesterday actually have a spring of this swing low here 2771, subsequently with a sharp rally up, which is considered as a change of character from this downtrend, as you can see in this downtrend line, down channel here. So it's actually a change of character. So that means that it's no longer a downtrend, and I expect some continuation to test the higher targets at least 2890, which is a resistance, and further up is definitely the swing high at 2960. So okay, the levels that I pay attention to, definitely let me get back to H1. Swing high level at currently I think 2850 is a pretty important level, and definitely for the support level subsequently is 2830. I think I mentioned this level quite a few times because it just acted as access line or area 2820 to 2830. So this area here are quite important. You can see that it actually bounced up quite a few times, penetrate through, rejected, bouncing up, penetrate through. So if you can just have this kind of the setup, like have a pullback, retrace it to test the level 2820 to 2830, and this is also in line with one of the important bar here, which is a last hour bar from yesterday. You can see that it's quite a big spread bar, so I would really like to see a test of this bar, and even better to test to the support level at 2830 to 2820. So somewhere around there, if I see the bounce up, then it probably can form a good long entry for me. And further down, and definitely is yeah, to 800 is another level, but I think this is quite an important level to pay attention to 2820 to 2830, because for the spring to be valid, then we definitely need to see that he can keep rallying up further to test higher targets. Otherwise it might just turn out to be a failure and go back to test lower targets. So immediate resistance that I am watching is definitely this level close to 2870, and definitely 2890, and then 2960 swing high. So these are some of the levels that I pay attention to. The key is to see how the price actually interact at those key levels, and you can decide from there on whether it's to initiate short or long, or just stay aside, do nothing. So going forward, yeah, I think for the potential trade, I talk about this pullback for the long entry. Yeah, at the moment this is one of the things that I'm considered to, because I'm not that keen on a short entry, given that we have a great change of character yesterday, sharp rally up. So this is one of the scenarios that I consider, unless that we really trigger some kind of the bad scenario or bad news to react with the bad news, then have a sharp tank up, wick rally, then probably can initiate short entry. But at the moment I still stick to my bias, long entry. And for the swing bias, I guess pretty much we're still stuck within the range, so my bias for swing is neutral. But yeah, for day trading, definitely I hope to see some upward continuation. Alright, so this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, just click like and hover to my picture name to follow me, and do remember to subscribe to my channel so that you get instant notification for my future videos. So if you have any kind of questions, comments, suggestion, or some great setup or stocks that you would like to share with me, just comment it below. I will definitely reply to your comments. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.